Hello, hello again, Jamie with Bible Time at J. Um, we're going to go right into Genesis 41. Joseph interprets Pharaoh's dream. It's part two of this little video series. So we left off where he interpreted the dreams of two of Pharaoh's main guys, the cupbearer, and well, not main guys, but they worked for him. The cupbearer is a main guy, and the baker. So Joseph correctly interprets these dreams because he has the gift from God to interpret dreams. And it goes well for the cupbearer, and the cupbearer forgets him. Joseph does not become bitter and continues on doing what he's doing, but he's still left in prison unfairly. So now we're in chapter 41. At the end of the 2 years, Pharaoh had a dream. He was standing beside the Nile when 7 healthy-looking, well-fed cows came up from the Nile and began to graze among the reeds. After them, 7 other cows, sickly and thin, came up from the Nile and stood beside those cows along the bank of the Nile. The sickly, thin cows ate the healthy, well-fed cows. Then Pharaoh woke up. He fell asleep and dreamed a second time. 7 heads of grain, plump and good, came up on one stalk. After them, 7 heads of grain, thin and scorched by the east wind, sprouted up. The thin heads of grain swallowed up the 7 plump, full ones. Then Pharaoh woke up, and it was a dream. When morning came, he was troubled, so he summoned all the magicians of Egypt and all its wise men. Pharaoh told them his dreams, but no one could interpret them for him. Then the chief cupbearer said to Pharaoh, "Today I remember my fault." Pharaoh was angry with his servants, and he put me and the chief baker in custody of the captain of the guards. He and I had dreams on the same night. Each dream had its own meaning. Now a young Hebrew, a slave of the captain of the guards, was with us there. We told him our dreams. He interpreted our dreams for each of us. Each had its own interpretation. It turned out just the way he interpreted them to us. I was restored to my position, and the other man was hanged. Then Pharaoh sent for Joseph, and they quickly brought him from the dungeon. He shaved, changed his clothes, and went to Pharaoh. So he got all nice and clean. Pharaoh said to Joseph, "I have had a dream, and no one can interpret it. But I have heard it said about you that you can hear a dream and interpret it." "I am not able to," Joseph answered Pharaoh. "It is God who will give Pharaoh a favorable answer." So Pharaoh said to Joseph, "In my dream, I was standing on the bank of the Nile when 7 well-fed, healthy cows came up from the Nile and grazed among the reeds. After them, 7 other cows, weak, very sickly and thin, came up. I've never seen such sickly ones as these in all the land of Egypt. Then the thin, sickly cows ate the first 7 well-fed cows. When they had devoured them, you could not tell that they had devoured them. Their appearance was as bad as it has been before. Then I woke up. In my dream, I also saw 7 heads of grain, full and good, coming up on one stalk. After them, 7 heads of grain, withered, thin, and scorched by the east wind, sprouted up. The thin heads of grain swallowed the 7 good ones. I told this to the magicians, but no one can tell me what it means. Then Joseph said to Pharaoh, Pharaoh's dreams mean the same thing. God has revealed to Pharaoh what he is about to do. The 7 good cows are about 7 years, and the 7 good heads are the 7 years. The dreams mean the same thing. The 7 thin, sickly cows that came up after them are the 7 years, and the 7 worthless heads of grain scorched by the east wind are 7 years of famine. It was just as I told Pharaoh. God has shown Pharaoh what he is about to do. 7 years of great abundance are coming throughout the land of Egypt. After them, 7 years of famine will take place, and all the abundance in the land of Egypt will be forgotten. The famine will devastate the land. The abundance in the land will not be remembered because of the famine that follows it. For the famine will be very severe. Since the dream was given twice to Pharaoh, it means the matter has been determined by God and he will carry it out soon. That is a revelation right there. So if you have a dream 2 times, wow, and it is a prophetic dream from God, and you have the same dream, same meaning, wow, that's what it seems to me. Maybe not, but wow, 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 wow. So now let Pharaoh look for a discerning and wise man and set him over the land of Egypt. Let Pharaoh do this. Let him appoint overseers over the land and take 1/5 of the harvest of the land of Egypt during the 7 years of abundance. Let them gather all the excess food during these good years that are coming. Under Pharaoh's authority, store the grain in the cities so they may preserve it as food. The food will be a reserve for the land during the 7 years of famine that will take place in the land of Egypt. Then the country will not be wiped out by the famine. Joseph exalted. The proposal pleased Pharaoh and all his servants, and he said to them, "Can we find anyone like this, a man who has God's Spirit in him?" So Pharaoh said to Joseph, "Since God has made all this known to you, there is no one as discerning and wise as you are. You will be over my house, and all my people will obey your commands. Only I, as king, will be greater than you." Pharaoh also said to Joseph, "See, I am placing you over all the land of Egypt." Pharaoh removed his signet ring from his hand and put it on Joseph's hand. Ooh, my goodness. And put it on Joseph's hand. Clothed him with fine linen garments and placed a gold chain around his neck. He had Joseph ride in a second chariot, and servants called out before him, "Make way!" So he placed him over all the land of Egypt. Pharaoh said to Joseph, "I am Pharaoh, and no one will be able to raise his hand or foot in all the land of Egypt without your permission." Pharaoh gave Joseph the name Zephanath-Paneah and gave him a wife, Asenath, daughter of Potiphar, priest at On. And Joseph went throughout the land of Egypt And Joseph went throughout the land of Egypt. During the 7 years of abundance, the land produced outstanding harvests. Joseph gathered all the excess food in the land of Egypt during the 7 years and put it in cities. He put the food in every city from the fields around it. So Joseph stored up grain in such abundance, like the sand of the sea, that he stopped measuring it because it was beyond measure. Two sons were born to Joseph before the years of famine arrived. Asenath, daughter of Potiphar, priest at On, bore them to him. Joseph named the firstborn Manasseh and said, God has made me forget all my hardship and my whole family. And the second son was named Ephraim and said, God has made me fruitful in the land of my affliction. Yes, indeed, he did. Then the 7 years of abundance in the land of Egypt came to an end, and the 7 years of famine began, just as Joseph had said. There was famine in every land, but the whole land of Egypt there was food. When the whole land of Egypt was stricken with famine, the people cried out to Pharaoh for food. Pharaoh told all Egypt, go to Joseph and do whatever he tells you. Now the famine had spread across the whole region. So Joseph opened all the storehouses and sold grain to the Egyptians, for the famine was severe in the land of Egypt. Every land came to Joseph in Egypt to buy grain, for the famine was severe in every land. Woo-wee! Joseph got lifted up second to the king, only to the king. My goodness, he had a chariot and a signet ring. From being sold to slavery, well, almost killed, being sold to slavery, then falsely accused, thrown into prison, forgotten about, and just being faithful the whole time. God was with him and God exalted him. So those who do right know that you will be exalted just at the right time. If you are a Christian following God, doing the commands of God and keeping his way, being faithful to God, and you're not exalting yourself and you're walking in humility, God will exalt you because you are part of a plan way bigger than we even realize. You and I are part of a plan for God, for his purpose. So, and to see later on, years later, that Joseph, we'll see, but Joseph, God had his life planned out just as he has ours. He knows the days. He knows the hours that we face. He knows it way before we ever know. We have the choice to go which way we want to go, but he knows what's going to happen in our lives. He already knows. He knows the choices we're going to make because he knows our thoughts. So God had it all set up for Joseph to actually redeem something, but we'll see what it is he'll be redeeming. Some commentary on that. I think, let's see, I like reading some of the New Testament scriptures that go along. Perhaps James underscored Joseph's attitude and behavior more succinctly than any other New Testament writer. Consider it a great joy, my brothers and sisters, whenever you experience various trials, because you know that the testing of your faith produces endurance. And let endurance have its full effect, so that you may be mature and complete, lacking nothing. James 1:2-4. One of my favorite scriptures. It really is. It keeps me grounded and rooted, knowing that when troubles come, it is for my benefit to grow my character and produce endurance in me as a daughter of God, to walk in the purposes that God has set before me. And most of the time we don't know what God has set before us. And we get discouraged because we are being tested, or our endurance is being strengthened with some trials. And of course, they might not seem fair, but at the end, after, when you look back and you have walked through the way of what the Lord has for you, you can look back and you can map it out and say, I know exactly why God made me go through these things. I know exactly why He made me face certain fears so that I would come out on the other side and I would help others. And it always has to do with helping others, So it is always going to be furthering God's kingdom for His glory. And the way we'll do that is through helping and spreading God's word, spreading His the gospel, trying to gather more people for the kingdom. So, whenever you go through some trials, keep that in mind. James 1, 2? Yes, 1, 2, 4. 1, 2 through 4. Keep that in mind, because it is truly a scripture that I lean on a lot, and it has helped me get through some troubling times. And every time I get through the time, because it's always a season of trouble that you go through, and we think it's going to last forever, but it's just a season. And when we come through that season, we can always look back with fresh eyes and say, I know why. I know why you did that, God. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Now I can walk forward, and I am stronger now. So just keep that in mind. Keep that close and tucked in your heart. James 1, 2. And I will continue on with our next video. I will end here and start the next video. So I'll see y'all in just a second.